This is an LED DIY heart-shaped flow water lamp Love Light DIY electronic soldering kit. I recently purchased this from AliExpress, and including all discounts, shipping and taxes, cost me just £1.11. I thought it'd be an interesting little kit to assemble here on the channel, so let's take a look inside and see what you get. Okay, so this is a compact little kit, but it's got plenty of components. We have the main PCB here, and this looks quite neat. It's got a heart-shaped outline here that we can fill with the LEDs, and a few extra components down the bottom we need to install. And as you can see, it is a double-sided PCB. The kit does include some instructions. Again, unfortunately, they're in Chinese, so I can't read them, although I think will be fairly easy to follow in this instance. We have a circuit diagram here, a schematic that we can look at if we want more details about how the device works, and I'll provide a link to a simulation of this circuit in the video description. In addition to the PCB, we have the 3 transistors that we need to install, and these are all NPN type. We have 3 electrolytic capacitors, 2 sets of 3 resistors, a power switch, and a total of apparently 18 LEDs, so let's hope they're all there. Now, as usual, I'm going to start with the resistors on this board, and so let's turn the soldering iron on and get started. We need to identify the resistors that we need to install, and as you can see, there are 3 100 ohm resistors and 3 10k resistors, and these are alternating on each side. We have our resistors just here, and if we look carefully, we can see the values on each of these. The first one we have here is brown, black, 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 and brown. And this will be our 100 ohm resistor. So 100 with 0 additional zeros. And this has a brown tolerance band as well for a 1% tolerance. We also have these resistors here. And on these ones, we have brown, black, black, red. And so that's 100 with 2 additional zeros for a total of 10,000 ohms. And again, a brown tolerance band. As usual, we can check the value of our resistors using a digital multimeter. So what I'm going to do is set this down to the 20 kilo ohm range. And then we can take our resistors here and place one of them across the probes. And you can see here we're getting 9.8 kilo ohms. So this is perfectly good for our 10 kilo ohm resistors. And we can check our other resistors here. Again, one across the probes, and we're getting 0.1, which is 100 ohms. But of course, we can lower this down to the 2000 ohm range, or even the 200 ohm range, and check again. And as you can see here, we're getting 96.2, again, perfectly good for a 100 ohm resistor. So having identified our resistors, let's install them on the board. So as you can see, I've installed all our 100 ohms, and these are over the relevant places. And I'm going to stop here and just hold them in place with some blue tack and solder them in place. Next we have our 10k resistors. Okay, next up I think I'm going to do the transistors, and there are 3 of these at the bottom here. And each of these should be 9013 transistors, and they're all actually the same. And they need to be installed in the same orientation as the silkscreen outline. So if we look carefully on the silkscreen, there's a half moon at the top and a flat on the bottom, and I'm holding this transistor in the same orientation. Now these transistors have flat legs, so they're straight all the way across, so they would be all in parallel here. But you'll see on the socket outline here, the middle leg here is pushed back slightly, so we're going to bend it very slightly out to make sure that's going to go through. And we just wiggle these down until they're comfortable. No need to push them too far, otherwise we risk damaging the transistor. Okay, next up, let's install our electrolytic capacitors. And there are 3 of those, and again, these are all the same, 100 microfarad for each of them. And we can look on the capacitor, and hopefully we can see these are 100 microfarad. And if we look on the can, we can see there is a negative symbol on this stripe here, and that's associated with the shorter leg, and the longer leg is therefore positive. And if we look closely on the PCB, we can see one side is marked with a little positive symbol, very tiny just here, and there's a shaded side as well, and that's the negative side. So our capacitor goes in like so, longer lead in the positive side, shorter lead in the shaded side. Okay, the last component in the section of the board here is the power switch. And we have the switch just here, and it just slots into place. Okay, and now the final components to install are the LEDs that go around here. And we have all of our LEDs just here, and they're all the same color. But LEDs do have a direction, and so we need to make sure they're being put in the board the correct way around. And to check that, I always use a CR2032 coin cell battery because there is a plus sign marked on one side and there's nothing marked on the other. And we can use this to test the LED by putting it between the legs on the LED. And you can see here, if I orient it this way, the LED illuminates. If I turn it up the other way, it does not. And if I turn it back again, it still illuminates. And that's because the long lead here is positive and the short lead is negative. And that's exactly the same as you find with the capacitors. On this particular board, the positive and negative is marked in the same way, and so we have a small plus sign for the positive side and a shaded area for the negative side, although on some PCBs you see an arrow shape instead, and the arrow goes from positive to negative. But on this one, we need to make sure that our long lead goes in the positive marked section here, and the short lead in the shaded section. So here I'm going to solder in just one leg on each LED. And you'll see they might look a little bit crooked, but we can straighten them out because we've only soldered one leg by applying some gentle pressure here on the LED and reheating the joint on the other side, like so. And we hold flat until the solder solidifies. Now these are all flat on the board, we can go ahead and solder the other leg on each LED. So we've now assembled all the components that were included, and this looks really quite neat. As you can see, the technique used allowed me to flatten out all of those LEDs. Now, you might realize here that turning this on and off is not going to do anything because we don't have any power, and there is nowhere to install any power on this, but there are two little test points on the lower section just here on this lower corner. Now, this doesn't include any battery box or similar, so I thought I would come up with a low budget solution for this particular video. Now, if we look at the schematic diagram just here, there is one minor difference between this and the board itself. Here you can see all the higher value resistors are marked as 4.7K, and as you might recall, we installed 10Ks on the board, but that will only affect the timing. The important information we have on this side here, however, is that we need to use 3 volts. Now, as you saw earlier in the video, I like to use these CR2032 coin cells, and as you can see right on this one here, these are indeed 3 volts, so I thought these would make an ideal battery. So I've come up with this rather simple little battery holder, and all it's made of is a piece of cereal box card and some foil and some wires. So here it is, one I've not finished putting together. And as you can see here, it's just a piece of cardboard that I've folded in half. I've put some copper foil here, and in the UK this is fairly common for controlling outdoor pests, particularly slugs. So this is just copper tape, but of course you could use other types of foil. Copper tape is ideal though, as it allows you to easily solder wires to it, so that's exactly what I've done here. And I can put my CR2032 coin cell battery in here with the positive side facing the positive wire here and the negative side on this side here, and this will make a nice little connection. But how do we hold it closed? Well, of course, the simplest solution is to use some tape, and to get a nice firm seal on those contacts, what I recommend doing is once you've made the appropriate size piece of cardboard, putting the tape around first, and that is exactly what I've done here. So this is the same thing. Just inside here, you might be able to make out there is some foil and the wires are soldered. And this will allow me to slide my coin cell battery in, of course, with the plus side to the red wire, so this way round. So before I install the battery, let's attach it to the board. And we need to install it on the back here. And the red wire needs to go to the 3 volts, and the black wire here needs to go to this little ground symbol. It looks like a little T, but that's because it's kind of missing the lower part of the printing. This should be a ground symbol for the black wire. So let's just tack this on here and see how we get on. So to tack this on, I'm just going to apply a little bit of solder to each of the contact points. And then I'm going to tack these wires on. Okay, so here's my little DIY battery holder. Let's just slide in a battery. So between here, we need to make sure that the plus sign goes towards the red side. And if we just push it right the way in, hopefully it will make some nice firm contact between the pads there. And let's see what happens when we turn it on. And there we go, we have this nice little chasing light effect on our little heart here. So I think it's a bit of a shame that this kit doesn't come with a battery holder. It'd be nice if there was one on, say, some long string, and then maybe you could wear this as sort of a flashing pendant or something. But in this case, I've gone ahead and DIY'd my own solution, and that's worked just fine. So I think this has been a really nice little kit. Not particularly bad value for money at just £1.11. So I hope you found this video interesting, and I hope to speak to you again soon in the next one.